Hi everyone, my name is Tommy and today we're going to talk about 10 do-it-yourself tools and jigs that's going to save you a lot of money. Now when you start into lutherie, there's a lot of tools that you can get in stores and it adds up really quickly. So when I started, what I decided to do was to kind of go online and find resources on how to make some of the tools I was going to need. So here I kind of compiled a list of 10. Of course there's more that you can add and there's like other ones that could have made that list as well, but just to keep it compact we're going to stick it to 10. And the first one that I want to talk about is a luthier's clamp. Now those ones can retail for about $30 a piece. So they get expensive really quickly when you need more than just the one. So similarly, like the spool clamps as well can, like I think a set of 6 is about $50 on Amazon. So those ones get expensive really quickly as well. And those are all clamps you can do by yourself. I do have a video on how to make the spool clamps and how to use them. There's a video online on where I found how to make those ones. The only difference is that on mine I put a little felt, a piece of leather to prevent damage on the soundboard and backboard when I use them. But those ones are very useful. Like in my case I've got 10 of those that I use scrap wood, those ones being oak scraps. By using that, like I saved a ton of money. Now the second one I would like to talk about is a go-bar deck. A go-bar deck is a structure that is used for clamping tone bars or braces on instruments. So those ones can retail for a pretty hefty price. Like I've seen some in the upwards of $800 online. Mine was made with using scrap once again here at home. I got some plywood and some I think it was fur that I use for mine. So like just by using this I was able to create the structure, and then for down pressure there's like some rods that you can buy and those can go up pretty quickly as well. So what I did is when I did use the oak, I ripped all my wood and all the leftovers from the length before I cut them to size, because I actually ripped the whole length first. So all those ones I was able to once again cut to width and thickness to size, and I'm actually able to use the oak strips in my go-bar deck to hold down pressure on my glue-ups. Now the third one is a thickness caliper. So if you do archtops instruments, or even if you want to check the thickness of like the center of your plate for like a normal guitar, you're going to need something that's got an opening like that. Now online you're going to find that those ones are about like just under $200, and like I mean there's not much to it. Like there's a little caliper here, like granted like the other ones has like a little thumb thing that's gonna lift it, but can easily lift this up. This one can be clamped in the workbench. So I use a scrap of plywood once again. So with this one saved $200. So you can see like even when you're on a budget you can make tools that's gonna help you around the shop to do your projects. Now the fourth one is bending iron. Now if you want to make instruments, obviously you're gonna have to bend sides. You can make like a full-on jig with springs and then get the blanket, the heater, and all that stuff, and that's really pricey. The most common way is to use some kind of a bender. So you use a hot pipe. Now you can get one that's already pre-made for you with like an element inside the pipe with a different shape, and those ones are going to be over $200. The one that I made uses a light bulb. I also have another one for tighter radius that I use like a propane torch for. So either or, those ones are very inexpensive. I also have a video that describes a bit of the dimensions of the one with the 200-watt light bulb. That one works great. I made the Mendocello just recently using this one. It works great. Now the fifth one I would like to talk about is the grommet. Now the grommet is a tool that you use to create the channel for your binding. It scores the fibers and then you don't have as much tear out. Those can sell for about $60 online, and this one was about, for me to make, about $10 to $15. I did have a scrap of ebony here in my stuff, and that I used to do that, and then the 1/2-inch bolt was fairly inexpensive. I also had a few fittings, but I basically did the whole thing. I have a video on how I made that I'll leave in the description below, so go have a look. It's a fun project, a day project to make, and then you have your own tool that you made yourself and you can use every day, and you save money as well. Now in number 6, it's mostly for flat top instruments, and I didn't really see any replicas on that online, but it's a jig for your saddle. So basically when you want to route the saddle groove in it, you basically have 2 levers that keep that's the actual template to make my bridges, but it keeps the bridge in place and locked in place, and then I've got the angle, proper angle for the intonation here, and then I just have to use my router and route the groove. So very, very useful if you make flat top instruments. This keeps the bridge in place. For number 7, we have the fret edge file holder. What it does, it holds the file at the proper angle, and then with a simple motion you can create the bevel for all your frets along the fretboard. So this is something that it's about like $50 to $60 online that I've seen. I like mine, once again, I like to make my own tools, so this one is a pretty cool project as well to do at home. So the fret file holder. So in number 8, it's an accessory that goes with the Stumac router, Dremel router base. This is a great base, and with all the money you've saved so far, I would tell you guys, like, go ahead. If you need something like that, it's worth the money. This thing is awesome. Where I find that you can actually save money is with the router base attachment, I should say. Now this router base attachment is used to make rosette or cut out the sound hole itself. It's a pretty simple system. It just slides back and forth, and then there's a lineup pin that's going to go into the middle of your sound hole, so you can do all the rosette and all the routing that you need to do. Now mine, I use leftover pieces of acrylic that I had, or I think maybe Lexan, maybe it was Lexan that I used. It's been a while, so I'm not exactly sure, but what I did is that I found that plastic to plastic was sliding quite a bit, so I added pieces of sandpaper inside, like double-sided sandpaper, and glued them in place, and hasn't, like, once it's tight, it doesn't move anymore. So this is something that you can make for very small amount of money, and you're going to save about $100 for this one. Now in number 9, a shooting board. A shooting board, you're going to need a shooting board if you want to create the edge on your joint. So where your pieces meet, you need to have a good joining edge, and with the shooting board you're going to be able to achieve that. Now there's a lot of videos online that shows you how to make a shooting board, and even online I couldn't really find or see a retail shooting board. So that's basically a project that you're going to have to figure out for yourself. The one that I made has a bench hook, so as I'm pushing on it, it doesn't slide all over my bench. So that's a feature that I like about the one that I decided to go with. But there's a lot of models, there's a lot of size, so that's something you're going to have to look into for yourself. Number 10 is the mold for the instrument you're making. Now this is a pretty simple mold. It's for a A-style mandolin, and you can see I've got one in here already. It's very simple to make. It helps bring your craft to another level when you're able to make your own jigs instead of buying them. Like, they get really expensive when you buy for every instrument. So like in this case, like if you're making a mandolin, you've got this one. If you want to make another one, it's already made for future. And then it pushes your craft to maybe down the road make bigger jigs and make bigger instruments and so forth. So making your own jigs are going to save you quite a bit of money as well. Now I do have a bonus do-it-yourself tool or jig that you can make, and for me it's this one, but for you it can be something totally different. And by that what I mean is like use your imagination, think outside of the box. It's not because it's not on the market somewhere that it's not something that can be useful in what you're trying to achieve. So in my case, when it came to create the binding rosette on my mandocello, I decided to try to make a mandocello rosette shaper. So because I use plastic, this works. With wood I would actually need to steam bend the wood, but using some, like a kettle, boiling my water and then putting it and shaping it around this tool, I was able to get very good results with minimal effort. So I hope this video was useful to you. If so, please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe. What is the tool or jig that is not part of my 10 or bonus that you think I should have made it? Please leave a comment down below. I really appreciate your time, and until next time, I wish you well.